Hey guys, welcome to Darrell and Tents. I am Darrell and not in a tent, actually in my workshop this afternoon, working on a backpacking stove. Now here's the deal. I'm making, thanks to the design from Dave's Bullets and Real Survival, thank you Dave, I'm going to modify his design a bit, put a window in the door, and I'm taking what is basically 14-inch by 8-inch furnace duct end cap. And I've got enough of those pieces that I'm going to put them together in really what will be, with just a handful of wing nuts, able to put together a real wood stove for inside a tent to make your tent a hot tent. And really, I think I've got less than $50 tied up in the whole thing. So that's the project, and that's what we're going to build today. Well, you can see my camera tripod and my laptop beside me. But to get started, I've actually purchased. This is the piece that will be the door. This is actually a 10-inch by 8-inch piece of duct, and then I've got 6 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that are 14 by 8-inch pieces of duct. So I'm going to measure them out. The first thing I'm going to do is take all of these ends, and where they're folded over, bent over here, I'm actually going to bend them back and flatten them out and straighten them out so that as everything pieces together, it'll actually cinch tightly together as to keep the air out. So let's get started by knocking out all of these bends and flattening up this piece of duct. Okay, so we've now got 4 individual pieces. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Okay, so I'm going to come down a 1/2 inch, which is right there, and I'm going to come over it's 7 inches, actually it's end to end is 8, so I'm going to come down at the 4-inch mark, which is right there, and that's where I want to put a hole. Okay. So I'm going to want to put that same hole at the 4-inch right there, and a 1/2 inch which is there. And then I'm going to want to do the exact same thing on the bottom piece as well. From here, we're going to come down 7 inches. 7.5 inches, actually. So if I go 7.5 inches there, and then I'm going to go 4 inches. there. Then that will hold those together. Let me just measure twice. So because this is 8 inches, and I want to come up a 1/2 inch, that needs to be at 1/2 inch and a 1/2 inch and 4 inch and 4 inch. Perfect. That's great. That's going to be at a 1/2 inch. That's going to be at a 1/2 inch. Perfect. All right. So I'm going to measure this one at 4, which is there, a 1/2 inch down, which is there, and I'm going to punch it. In fact, I'm going to come on down and do my 7-inch gap between. So 1 inch there, and if we go 7 inches, then that is going to take me there. And if I can come over 4 inches here, punch those. Now I'm going to take my file and file all the holes. Okay, so my plan is to use these threaded rods to stay in place. And so in order for them to stay in place, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a nut on the end. And actually, I can tell you what I want to do is I want to make these rods, because this is 14 inches. I really want to make this 15.5 inches. In fact, maybe I'll just mark it 16 inches. I'd rather measure twice and cut once. I'm going to take my Sawzall and I'm going to cut off the excess from the 16-inch mark. That's going to leave me an inch overhang. It's going to leave me an inch overhang on both sides. So I'm going to go take my Sawzall and I'm going to cut these down and I'll be right back. So what I'm doing is I'm putting a nut at about the 2-inch mark on both sides so that I can slide the rod into place. Go a little higher at that one. There we go. Good, good, good. And I want to kind of split the difference, so I've got about the same amount of rod hanging out on each side. Okay. Okay, so here's what we've got. I've got these two pieces. This is actually the top and the bottom, right? And they're going to fit nicely. The threaded rod will actually work in conjunction with the end cap that has the hole for the top and the hole for the bottom. So basically, if I take, let me show you. If I take this one and put it on the bottom, threaded rod fits nicely in that hole. Tighten it up at least just enough to put the wing nut on it. And I want to show you how this thing will all go together and how ideally 4 wing nuts is all that it will take to hold them together. Okay, so that goes there. And then the corner piece on this one, right? The bottom corner piece is actually going to hold, the other one fits inside of it. All right, just like that. Tighten that up. I put these nuts in there so that, just so my threaded rod will stay there when it's in my backpack. And I shouldn't have to worry about, you know, where it went off to. Okay, there we go, perfect. All right, so now I can put, at least start this one. Don't need it to go too tightly. Okay. And then this piece fits over the top, right? And this end does basically the same thing. Started. Go. Tighten that one down. Put this one on. And I hope you're able to see how the box is beginning to take shape. Now, keep in mind, you know, none of this has bended nicely into shape just yet. So I've got to get a few of the kinks out before we're ready to take it on the road, but at least you get the idea of how the whole thing comes together. Well, it just needed a little manipulation. That's all. And this side will tighten in as well. But you get the idea. I mean, what we're looking at is a box, a firebox. So the fire wood, right? Lumber goes in here, and the end caps really are the key. And as the two wing nuts hold that end cap on, and two wing nuts hold that end cap on, and it's on this end cap then that I'll actually cut my door. I'm going to put a window in there. I've got some mica quartz coming, and I should be able to cook on this. I should be able to heat on this, and then obviously I need to put the hole in the top for the flue to go out at the top of the tent. But for today, that's build number 1. That's the start. The firebox is up and running. The firebox fits, and the next piece then will be to cut the hole for the top and to work on the door, and I'll do that another day on another build. Thanks for watching. This is Darrell Intense, and I appreciate you sticking by me and being a part of this project. It'll be fun to take this out for a test then and do some burns and do some camping in a backpacking tent, and cut the flue. We'll cut the jack into the tent, and should be a great time. If you like the video, feel free to click the like button, the thumbs up, and also if you have any comments or any thoughts on what could make this whole project work better. Do I need to bore out these holes, maybe one size larger on the threaded rods, so those end caps will slide on there easier? Just whatever comments. Love to hear from you. And if you like the channel, I'd love for you to subscribe. Love to have some more subscribers, and every time that I go on an excursion, I would love for you to go with me. And so the subscribe button will make that happen. And if you click on the bell right next to the subscribe button, then you'll be notified every time that I post a new video. So thanks for watching. God bless.